Hello Headhunters, what's going on? Sandra or SkullHQ here, and today we have the review of the NECA Shin Godzilla or Shin Gojira figure. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I am a big fan of this guy. I haven't really seen all of the movie. I just watched all the parts of the Godzilla actually in it, so I don't know if the movie's good, but I can tell you this figure is pretty good. Minus one problem I have with it, and it's right here. So might as well talk about the sculpt first. The sculpt is very, very, very good. We have this crazy tail. I'll start with the tail. We have this crazy tail here, which as you can see, just has some really nice sculpting. I don't know what this orange is under here. That might be a paint issue, but it's very well sculpted. There's tons of ridges and details and very nice things. Then going down, the spines here are very, very nice. You can see just how rigid they are. Well, I shouldn't say rigid, very well defined they are. We have the rest of the tail here with the red bleeding through. Might as well go through the paint at the same time. And here we have the rest of the tail, which is segmented. So that does cause a sculpt issue of severe spreading if you don't have it up. But otherwise, this looks very good. Here we have some more spines, and they are rubberized, so you don't stab yourself as much, and they are dulled a bit. But we can see all this red lines, all the red paint splashed throughout the tail here, in the cracks and crevices. And then we get up to the dorsal plates, which are again rubberized. NECA figures tend to rubberize them and then round them a bit. And then we have this really nice, deep, dark red coming through. And with the black. It looks very nice. It looks pretty accurate. Maybe it's too much red, but it looks very good in person, and on camera it pops really, really well. As you can see in there, it's a bit more orange. In here it's a bit more orange. And red and deep and dark in there. And then we can look a little bit at the chest, which has this really nice, these really like tendony, muscly things going on around the arms. Then we have the stuck out chest bone, I guess you could call it. It looks very nice and pretty accurate. Then we have the arms here, which again, very accurate, skinny, kind of just gross looking. With once again some red paint splashed throughout, and then a little bit on the nails here, not red, but a little bit of color on the nails here. Very interesting finger layout. He's got 4 fingers. I guess let's go up to the neck. The neck, we have almost gills in this area, I guess. Then we have the spines, which get, I think that's what kind of throws this figure off a little bit. There's no spines on the top of the head, but there's a lot coming up to the neck, and then when you're used to head sculpt, there's no spines. But another problem with the head sculpt is it's too long. So Shin Godzilla's face, if you take a look right here, it's not that long. It's a bit shorter and stubbier. This is more alligator-like. But besides the point, it still looks very good for what it is, and I really, really like it. If I can focus, you can see the head sculpt a bit better. His eyes really jut out. I don't know if he has, does he have weird eye syndrome? His eyes seem to be pretty alright. I mean, they weren't even aligned in the movie. But you can see the teeth detail here. It's pretty good. They look pretty nice. Take a look there. Then we have the very wide opening jaw. And then you can look in there. It's deep dark red with a little bit like a hole at the back almost where they didn't paint all the way. It's really having a hard time focusing in there, but it's very nice. I really, really like the paint and sculpt of this figure. Then we have like the feet and legs, which are very fat compared to the rest of the body, very movie accurate. His hips and legs are ginormous. This is just like atrocious looking. Sculpting work very good, but like we have like the bubbling, like classic Godzilla effect here compared to like the burn victim of the rest of the figure. So this is obviously going back to the roots of Godzilla, looking like someone from Hiroshima or Nagasaki after the bombs exploded. The nuclear bombs exploded. Then we have these disgusting, giant, lifted up, basically talons, his nails here. And this interesting foot sculpt, which is very, most are just very flat. Godzilla's very flat-footed. These have like this weird arch happening. It looks very much like a big old monster. And then, you know, you've only seen one side, so here's the whole other side. You know, mirrored. Same sculpt, obviously. But yeah, so I really like the paint, I really like the sculpt. The articulation is, well, it's a NECA figure. So what do you expect? You expect pretty good articulation for a $20-25 figure, $30 with shipping. That's how much I paid for it from Amazon. Some of it falls short, even for NECA standards. The NECA 2001 Godzilla also had some shortcomings, but I like the way they did this head and some of the arms and things a bit better, and the legs. And then we have this figure who doesn't have the shortcoming of the torso nearly as much, but it has a shortcoming with the head. So if you take a look at the head here, we have the really nice jaw, which unhinges a lot like the movie, except this hinges almost too far. So you have to bring that in a bit, and then this isn't as open as it is in the movie. You also don't have the split jaw effect at all. But this head only moves a little bit on the top of the neck. It does turn though, you get the full range of motion there, but he doesn't pivot up and down too much. Then we have the neck, which is I believe a double, maybe it's just a single ball, but ball joint here, so you again get the full range of motion. You can get him really turning his head back and forth, and looks up and down. And then if you combat that with the head, you get combat. If you put that together with the head movement, you do get a good, alright range of movement for a Godzilla, but not anything super great. Put that together with the torso, you get even a bit more. But this does not move so much, and I wish it moved more, but it's like alright, but nothing amazing. Then we have obviously the torso, which is going to twist side to side and pivot side to side, and then go forward and backwards on a ball joint. Not the most amazing, but they did at least do something nice and sculpt holes between the dorsal plates, so you don't crush them against each other as much anyway, which is really nice. Then we go towards the arms here. Focus. Go towards the arms here, which surprisingly, for what they are and how they're based off the movie, have a good range of articulation. So they can come up about yay far and go down very close to the side. Then we have a swivel at the elbow, and a bend at the elbow. So you can actually get him to put his arms straight down if you want, but he never does that in the movie. So, and then we have a swivel and hinge at the wrist. So yeah, if you want to put his arms in different little poses, you can do that. Mine had an issue where the figure came with his arm twisted like this, and his arm stuck out and his hand the wrong way. So I was very confused when I first took the figure out of the package because everything was wrong. So I did have to twist the arm around. So your figure, if your figure comes like this, it might not be broken. It's just the arm is twisted the wrong way. So you do have to twist it around yourself. There you go. You twist it around yourself, kind of fix that little arm issue, and then your problem's all set. Anyway, moving on to the legs. The legs have very little articulation, even for a Godzilla figure. They don't really go out at all. They do go up a good bit, but these are in that weird ball joint with the socket here, so they kind of roll. They don't really kick out, or they don't really kick forward, they kick outward. Very interesting. It's the same for both legs. They kind of do that whole kick out thing. So you can get him in an interesting pose with it, but it'd be nice to have some outward movement, but because of the sculpt and not wanting to have gaps, that's just kind of what you're stuck with. Then we have bend at the knee, which this knee, this left knee, or sorry, right knee, bends more than the left knee does, but for me anyway, it bends back about that much, and forward about that much. I tend to keep it bent a good bit. Then we have the really interesting feet. So they swivel and they do pivot a little bit. And they do have, I guess, ankle pivot where they go side to side as well. So you can do some more dynamic feet poses if you really want to. Then we have the tail. And this is where the figure not necessarily shines, but it's very interesting. So this is the longest tail NECA has ever made, by a lot. It is huge, and it is segmented by a bunch of ball joints, a series of ball joints, and then the bendy wire at the end. So here we have this, which creates some major gappage, but it can get a good range of motion in conjunction with the rest of the tail. You can get his tail coming way out to the right or left. But you do get some gappage in there, which is a slight issue. And then back here as well. Here's the, this is one problem I have with the sculpt, is it is built for this tail to come out like this, like it's broken almost, not like straight up, like this. More, you know, it's made to kind of go back, which is weird. And this is its own little piece, but there's a bendy wire in here. You can bend that however you want. If you really want to curl it, I keep it relatively straight because I like just having a long tail, because it is long. It is taller. It is taller than Godzilla himself, by a lot. It's a big tail. It's movie accurate too. So there's that going for it. So do I like this figure? Absolutely. It is so photogenic. I can't get over it. It's amazing in terms of photos, and the colors pop so well in right lighting conditions. It looks amazing. In terms of articulation, it's not super amazing. You can get some interesting poses out of it, like you can get him like looking back and the usual stuff, but he's not gonna do anything crazy like an SH Monster Arts. The paint is very good. A lot of people want to say if they could combine the SH Monster Arts in terms of articulation and stuff and get the paint from this guy, they would do it, because the sculpt in terms of the SH Monster Arts is very nice and the articulation is very great. But they want the paint from this guy, because the paint on this guy is the best Shin Godzilla paint we have seen, with the nice blending of the red, and the red being all cracks, and everything is very nice about this figure, except for this little head sculpt. But they want to like combine the two, and I would agree with that. The SH Monster Arts comparison to this, you know, take the paint on, put on SH Monster Arts, you have a perfect Godzilla figure. But this is still, for the price, for being $20, $25, $30, this is an amazing figure for that. You get a very photogenic figure if you like that. He looks very good on shelves. I already put him on my shelf above my bed. Looks great. The tail being super long is amazing. If you want to get a size comparison, he stands up, you know, they're all about 6-inch figures in terms of height, 6-7 inches. But yeah, that's what you're getting if you're looking at a NECA figure. Bit taller than 2001 and shorter than Burning Godzilla or Space Godzilla figures. Same sculpt, but whatever. Tail length. Here's what's gonna blow you away. So here's the Shin Godzilla figure, right? Let's get him from side to side. I can't even really get him in one shot. I'll have to zoom out a bit. You'll see my setup a bit more. So you get this in terms of length, right? And this is stretched out basically all the way. And you take this figure and bend his tail out all the way. You get an extra 3 inches, maybe even more, 3.5, 4 inches on the Shin Godzilla tail compared to the 2001 Godzilla. It's long. It's also one of the more articulated tails. Like these guys from here, they don't move really at all. Yeah, they're just kind of there. And this guy, being a NECA figure, pretty nice articulated tail, so I do like that. But again, there's still shortcomings to everything, pros and cons, whatever. Do I recommend this figure? Absolutely. If you have $20, $25, $30, you want to get a Godzilla figure, you want to get a NECA figure, I would say go for this guy. He looks very good. If you would take photos of figures, this is a very good figure to do that. But again, be wary of tail issues, because some tails are having a paint issue where there's no black on the end, where there should be. So watch out for that in the packaging. And then obviously you have to know this whole head isn't exactly right. But that being said, do get this figure. That's the conclusion. Anyway, like if you liked it, share the video if it was your favorite, or share the video, subscribe for more, and I will see you all later for more reviews and stuff. Take care.